What's poppin', y'all? This is Deidre with One Shot Game, man. You already know how the motto go. You get one shot at life, but a lifetime to learn all the game you need to help improve your life. The choice is yours on which route you choose to take. Now, as I always say, you get two choices: the ability to faithfully settle in the life that has been set out for you, or the ability to pave a path towards your destiny. That choice is also up to you. So before I get into the title of my video, I want to say a big shout out to all my supporters. You guys are great. And even the ones behind the scenes, I see y'all too. So look, the title of this video is going to be on the fact that now, since empaths, earth angels, high priestess, people who rank high in the spiritual world are being exposed. And those people also are aware and know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Because you just got to be real. There are a lot of people pretending, copying, you know what I'm saying? Getting the recognition for the people that are really who they say they are and putting in the work. Solely because, again, those people have a certain, you know what I'm saying, attention bracket, or, whatever a person who's copying and mimicking want. So there is a difference. Everybody ain't who you think they are. You know what I'm saying? So with that understanding, I truly believe a lot of people tend to underestimate what behind the scenes earth angels have to take on, and that is the ability to, early on in life, these people, again, were born this way. Early on in life, they don't know how to transmute their own emotions, their own feelings, right? But they are someone that basically receives the energy, the negative energy from anyone around them. You know what I'm saying? And transmute it into a way where it's projected out of them to make everybody around them feel good. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is they take on the negative, you know what I'm saying, the depressive, the, you know what I'm saying, the pain and the hurt, that a person feels behind the scenes that you may not see. You know what I'm saying? And because of them being a vessel that works like that, they produce good energy to whoever they're around. You know what I'm saying? And they carry the weight of a person's negative energy in their soul. So a lot of times, since they are not aware of how to process their own emotions early on, what happens is it tends for them to be able to, like, be their own worst critic. So that could lead into substance abuse. That could lead into, you know what I'm saying, the ability to want to take mistreatment for somebody to love them. You know what I'm saying? Because people weren't understanding of how much certain people had to take on negative energy and project it out into the world for people to be positive around them, without those people ever taking the time to be like, hey, what's going on? You all right? What you going through? Because again, when you're a person that has the ability to transmute energy like that, you usually don't get the same love that you give out. You know what I'm saying? But as you go through life and you start to be aware of life lessons, because you guys got to understand, earth angels, people that are a vessel for, you know what I'm saying, God, the universe, Allah, whoever you choose to pray to, you know what I'm saying, those people are on assignment in the world on a certain mission. You know what I'm saying? So even though oftentimes they have a certain feeling when people treat them wrong, they recognize a certain feeling of when someone keeps treating them a certain way, keeps being the same person over and over to them again and again. But because of their love for people and wanting to see the best in people, they continue to stick around and take the treatment. You know what I'm saying? Due to their love for people, and also because of, you know what I'm saying, when you're not understanding of your emotions, you don't know what's truly going on. But even when you start to understand that point, you know what I'm saying, you tend to still deal and hang around with those people, because you know deep down inside what it's like to, you know what I'm saying, hide the most deepest, darkest parts of who you truly are away from everyone and put on a smile and pretend like everything's happy. You know what I'm saying? But not realizing or understanding how you're the transmuter for that energy. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people spiritually knew that about you. That's why sometimes you get around people, they want you to take the most shots. They want you to hit the most weed. You know what I'm saying? They want you to be the bulk of their pain and trauma so that you can keep expressing good energy to them so they can put on a show for people. You know what I'm saying? But if that energy is not transmuted and reciprocated back into you, you know what I'm saying, you can destroy who you are on the inside, you know what I'm saying, out. And oftentimes people who are on a certain assignment in this world, you know what I'm saying, they don't become aware of how or what their mission is in the world and what they're doing. But it's not until they reach a certain point to where God, Allah, the universe is finally like, listen, you cannot keep, you know what I'm saying, being an energy vessel for people and how they truly feel and not for yourself. Now is the time you wake up to who you truly are, you know what I'm saying, and you create boundaries, you know what I'm saying. You understand that you can't attach yourself to people that don't want the best for you, because those people don't realize that when you're an energy transmuter, if you don't reciprocate the same energy back to that person that they're giving you, over time, you know what I'm saying, it wears their body down internally until they're no longer able to exist on the planet. And again, y'all got to be mindful and understand there are some people that don't care, you know what I'm saying, because they tend to like to operate in a way of dark energy. You know what I'm saying? They like to really be those people deep down inside, but they need a cover up. You know what I'm saying? They need an alibi. You know what I'm saying? For being a reason why it's okay to express, you know, that type of energy about who they are. Listen, y'all don't understand how oftentimes those people are put in scenarios and around people that know that they have a good heart and know that they'll blame themselves for what's going on. Know that those people will continue to love them no matter how much they try to disregard them, paint a negative image about who they are, make them look like the worst person in the world simply because they're taking on their baggage and their trauma of how they truly feel. But in order for those people to feel good about who they are in life, they have to keep that going. So they will never oftentimes be able to face the truth and apologize or take accountability, you know what I'm saying, or stop the behavior in general. It is not until you wake up to who you are and take your power back that the face mask will be removed and they will be exposed for all the dirt that they've done to try to keep and paint a certain image about who they truly are. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, it's almost as if everyone has a God-given ability, right? But the more that you take on the pain and the energy from having darts and daggers thrown at you, the more you diminish your light. You know what I'm saying? But if you're strong enough to carry the weight and you do everything you can to remain a person that, you know what I'm saying, doesn't treat people how you feel because of your pain, you feel me? At some point you will level up and you will be able to take your power back, you know what I'm saying, and realize that life gets a whole lot easier for you to maintain your energy when you create boundaries, you know what I'm saying, and you don't move out of emotion. You do it straight from logic. But again, you do have a heart, you do care, but you just don't give it freely to people that really don't truly care about you. And again, like I said, these people oftentimes never thought that they would be discovered, you know, because they were cloaking themselves under good energy. And as long as you weren't aware of what was going on, they had the ability to project how they truly feel about themselves onto you, and then take your energy and portray to the world like they're in good spirits. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's tough work. It's very exhausting. You know what I'm saying? And it comes with a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I promise you, you don't even realize how much baggage, how much, you know what I'm saying, pain that you could be transmuting for people so that they can feel happy while they take and their garbage and dump it on you intentionally of who they truly are. And you don't miss, and you don't, you know what I'm saying, see the signs because you want to see them for who they truly are. You don't want to believe that, you know what I'm saying, they're really dark individuals. You want to see the good inside of them like the good you see in yourself. You know what I'm saying? But you're missing the whole point of realizing the good that you want to see in these people is the good that's in you. You know what I'm saying? But they're tricking your mind into believing that, you know what I'm saying, you're not really who you say you are. That's not really you. You feel me? And they'll put you in scenarios and situations where people have easy access to your energy to stop you from believing that the reason why there are people surrounding you are able to, you know what I'm saying, portray you or get away with things while you be projecting a certain light is because they're trying to be you. And because you don't really know who you are yet, it's easy to fool you. So that's why it's a lot of extensive work. That's why it's a lot of, you know what I'm saying, background work you got to do and put in to fully be committed to understanding who you are, because what is unseen to them is seen to you, and what you do understand is that it's working. Meaning the more you continue to be yourself, you know what I'm saying, and take your power back, the more these people are being revealed. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be exposed. And so your energy will be returned back to you. And what will happen is over time, you will start to become a visible source of people realizing and looking at like, listen, I don't think, you know what I'm saying, this person is supposed to be here. I don't think this person is, you know what I'm saying, everything that we've been labeling them as, because we're starting to see the real. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it's very difficult. It's very strenuous on your mind because you're in a psychological war, you know, and people are projecting tons of negative energy onto you so that you never understand what it takes to pull your energy back to become who you are, so that they never have to take responsibility, especially when things start falling apart. When people start realizing in their life that things ain't going as smoothly as they used to been going the whole entire time, something is changing. Things is happening. You know what I'm saying? We need to find an energy source, and quick, so that we can project onto them. You feel me? So that we can be able to keep the system flowing and growing. Oh, sorry, but the person we picked, they're no longer an easy source because they know who they are. So now we have to face and deal with, you know what I'm saying, who we truly are for real. But it doesn't mean we feel bad or feel, you know what I'm saying, any remorse. It just means, you know what I'm saying, keep targeting this person. At some point, they going to either get down or lay down. And our whole entire life is going to stay the same. Listen, it becomes real when the person who has been transmuting the energy all their life for the broken people around them start to realize who they are, and the brokenness that they had to take from people is then projected back onto them. And what happens is now they take their life force, you know what I'm saying, of feeling good and understanding you were never a light person. You were actually a dark person, but you were still in my energy. So now I'm about to take something back and give it to myself that you took and stole from me. Be who you truly are for real. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to make other people's energy be yours to shield the fact and shadow the fact that you're really a dark person for real. Oh, baby, listen, and they can't stand it. They listen, it make them more mad. More mad. You know what I'm saying? Because I promise you, people who are spiritually ranked high in the dark world, they know who to target. They know who to go after. And those are usually the people that feel the worst about who they are. You know what I'm saying? Who are the most depressed every day. You feel me? It's written over your face. You can tell by your actions. You don't have any clear goals. You get up, you do the same thing every day. They know who to target. But when you wake up to who you are, and you are not the one that's going to sit around and be moping and depressed and upset about, you know what I'm saying, your circumstances or maybe the psychological warfare you're facing, they know that they can no longer come after you. You know what I'm saying? And what happens again, like I said, you take back your energy from these people who are really dark, who have been using good energy to cloak the fact that they were dark the whole entire time. You know what I'm saying? And now you start to become a beacon of light that shines brighter, because you are basically giving yourself the right energy. You know what I'm saying? After so long of your life of transmuting dark energy, everybody around you oftentimes used your energy to project into the world how great of a person they were, but they never gave you the same. You know what I'm saying? They dumped on you, they targeted you, they tried to make you feel the worst about your existence. You know what I'm saying? So that they could be able to shine in a world where they truly weren't who they say they were. Like, people who really know you for real, like especially the ones closest to you, they know your heart for real. They know who you are for real. They know you are everything that they're not. You know what I'm saying? And so they try their best to try to dim your light so that they can be able to continue to be these people that are not who you truly are. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the war seems so long. That's why it can take over you if you're not strong enough. That's why you can be coming down with certain things that are not yours but are other people, because when you go through the process of taking your own energy back from these people who stole it from you, you know what I'm saying, it's going to come with negative energy being projected to you, simply because, again, like I said, these people thrive off of attention. They thrive off of money. They thrive off of appearance. They thrive off of basically trying to control people that they feel are less than them. You know, even though these people deep down inside have a darkness to them of really feeling the way that these people feel that they're targeting. But because they may express to them or show to them in a way where they can't see it, they don't know. That's why it's very important to take your power back. You know what I'm saying? Listen, there are a lot of people that I see walking around, you know what I'm saying, being in its environments, like you could tell they just wake up and they don't have no drive for life. You know what I'm saying? They're like really depressed in the inside. But what they do is they get up, they get dressed, they pretend. They have conversations with people. They play fake games with people. They act as if they're happy, but they're not. You know what I'm saying? And you can see it in their soul if you're someone that understands and realizes the work you have to do inside yourself. You know what I'm saying? And these are the ones that usually are easy candidates as well as target the easy suspects. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm telling you, know when to put a cap on your energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I trust and believe me when I say this, they're still out there targeting people with good energy because they don't like being exposed. They do not like having to deal with who they truly are for real. You know what I'm saying? So they're going after the ones in a heavier way by putting on the finesse, putting on charm to get these people to not understand that they're using their energy to disguise who they truly are for real. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so very important to know who you are and get to a point. Listen, at some point, the universe is going to make you illuminate to who you are. You cannot sit back and transmute people's dark energy and not, you know what I'm saying, pour into yourself the way that you transmute other people's energy. It's not going to be allowed, because if you allowed yourself to keep doing that, I promise you wouldn't be alive to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? For real. That's how strong what's going on in the planet is so strong right now. That's why it's very vital in knowing and understanding that when you realize who you are, you know what I'm saying, why there are certain people who didn't want you to get away. Certain people who, you know what I'm saying, didn't want you to take your energy back, because then it's like having the skin being pulled off your body and now you got to face the skeletons under that. Listen, they don't like that. Meanwhile, the whole time you were, you feel me, spiritually attacking your own self because you knew your heart, you knew who you were for real. It's just that these people wouldn't allow people to see you like that because they only seen the darkness of what they portrayed inside of you from them. That's why it's very important to be mindful of who you hang around, who you kick it with, because there are people who don't care about projecting their negative energy onto you and being such a dark energy cloaked over you that people who don't know you won't be able to see you for you. They'll see that energy that has been given to you from someone else. That is why oftentimes you find yourself attracted to, you feel me, the very thing that people see about you, because again, you have this negative energy that's attached to you, and it's basically projecting their real true soul into the world. So people see you not in your own way, but in the way of what they projected onto you. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a minute for you to be alone, to know who you are, to bring your own light out, so people start to see you for you instead of the dark energy that has been attached to you for so long. You know what I'm saying? Listen. And it's almost as if once you get to that point, you don't need the external validation. You don't care who like you or don't like you, because I've always been this way. This has always been me. But y'all tend to not be able to see me, you know what I'm saying, due to what y'all wanted to see about me, which is usually the darkness inside of them. You know what I'm saying? So now that I'm finally at a space where I know how to take my own power back and I know who I am for real, because you see who I am for real now, you think it's going to be just easy access? No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, like I said, it just brings forth who people really are. And now you really get to see them for real and how they saw you the whole entire time. So if I give you access to me, the only thing you're going to do is continue to be that same version of yourself. Hey, I'm telling you, it get tricky, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's so very important that now is crucial, you know what I'm saying, of knowing and realizing who you are. Don't be mad or upset if people, you know what I'm saying, refuse to talk to you simply because they know you know everything. They know you see it all. They know you feel it all. You know they know that they can't be a fake version of who they are around you. So they just rather not be around you or hang around you because now you know the truth. You know what I'm saying? Which is what they've been hiding from you the whole entire time, because you were the vessel of the whole operation that kept it floating from having the darkness to be revealed. That is why you were targeted the most. That is why things were said about you. That is why paper trails made up about who you were, was because of the dark image of the energy that you were consuming, so that people would never see your light, because you were everything that they weren't. And they knew that the moment you were able to be yourself in this world, you would attract everything you ever wanted. As whereas it wasn't so easy for them because they were people who operated out of darkness. Listen, if you don't know what it is, I just told you. Please make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe.